Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the vinyl community. Long time no see. Uh, been really busy, and stuff got away from me over the last several months or so. I've also been recently consumed, like most people, with a PlayStation 3 playing The Last of Us. So, there you go. Although, I haven't stopped purchasing records, and in fact, I'm still waiting on some stuff, and was going to wait and do a update when I got everything, but I got a surprise package that I was not expecting, but kind of knew about, but wasn't expecting. If that makes any sense at all, probably doesn't. But I'll explain, and hopefully it'll make more sense. Got a phone call from my sister, and she says, like, she starts asking me, but first she asked me, what's your favorite band, and I kind of hesitated because I wasn't gonna tell her, because she doesn't know. She knows about my obsession with records. She actually went on a shopping excursion, and she was with me on the Seattle trip, and we spent the whole day just cruising Seattle, and found a record store that was an interesting experience, to say the least. But moving on, she starts asking me about albums and bands and everything, and I gave her a few names. I was kind of caught off guard, and so that was a couple days ago. Thought nothing of it. So today happens to be 25th birthday, and so let's see. Night owl, so I'm up late watching TV, and everything. And so wake up this morning, and package comes in from my sister, and it's records. And we just talked about it, but so it wasn't. But I kind of, I just threw out. She asked me to throw out a name. Being caught off guard, I threw out the first thing I could think of, and it happened to be an album I already had, but I had it on CD, didn't have it on vinyl. Wasn't really looking for it on vinyl because it's not a band I particularly like all that much, and when I show it, you'll understand what I mean. But it was the only thing I could think of for some odd reason. This is the first thing that popped in my head, so I thought I'll suggest that one because it's probably going to be easier for her to find than if I said something crazy, that I would be having to go myself and look for, because it's like I would know what to look for. But anyway, enough of all that nonsense. Let's get to what you guys are here for. At least I hope it's what you guys are here for. But before that, there's a couple of other things with some other things I picked up over the course of several months, and being off of YouTube and not making videos, I picked up some stuff music related, but not albums or anything like that. And the first is book Louder Than Hell, the definitive history of metal. As usual, saw a review of it, Rolling Stone, which I am because of a certain person they decided to put on their cover, I'm no longer reading. I'm not going to get, very political because I don't like to discuss it with anybody ever. I hate religion, politics, two things I do not discuss with people. I even have issues talking about it with people I go to church with. It's not a subject I like to discuss very often at all because it's really divisive, and it's not, there's no point. But at least the way I see it. But picked up this and started to read it, but I haven't picked it up since about probably the 4th. Instead of being in the party mood, I just stood outside in 100-degree weather at the party under a tree reading this book, and really actually like it. It's good. It's a good read. But for most that have followed Heavy Metal, you pretty much already know it, because it's not like they're going to go over different, any different bands. It's all mostly the same bands, the same people, and the same, interview subjects that have been done. But through reading reviews and then reading it myself, the little bit that I have, I think I'm in the 4th chapter or something. I took a break because I was up visiting a friend for the last couple of weeks and haven't gotten back to this yet. It's done really well, really well written, really well researched, but I mean, you're trying to do 40 years plus, and then all the beginning, early stages of an entire genre of music in 1,000 pages. It's quite an undertaking, but definitely a good read. Now moving on to something there's a particular YouTuber that is more active on my Slayer channel than this one, and I rarely check that channel because I don't upload much anymore, because I don't really have anything to upload onto it. So I don't check it very often for anything. I decided to check it, and I get a message, and he's wanting me to do do something about Jeff Hanneman, and I told him that I would do it. Still haven't done it, but I will do it because I told him I would. But it was kind of really difficult to get across what I felt, understand anything about it, or what was going on, because it was like, here's somebody I've been a fan of theirs not very long, for about the last 7 years or so, because it was something that would have been because of their subject matter as a younger teenager, or as a teenager period, it would have been a touchy subject, because not that there would have been an issue on the whole. It's just that, like with the subject when I was younger with Grand Theft Auto, for example, it's like, can you realize that this is just music, it's just entertainment, and you're not going to go nutso and start taking this seriously, and start going bananas. And that was just the point that they needed to come across, and the parental unit at the time needed to be sure that I wasn't going to go absolutely psycho. But the other thing was, I obviously shocked, saddened, head fucked about the whole thing. Hearing about them because I'm one that on a regular basis checks their website. Don't really check their Facebook because I don't like Facebook, but I do check up on the vinyl community, but that's about it. I can't stand Facebook, never have, and I'm only on it because of the vinyl community. But it's like, here's a band that I've followed for 7-8 years, with a rabid, almost psychotic, crazy following, with the money that I've spent on records, money spent on tickets, time involved in it, and everything. It's basically consumed me since I started. And oh, hey, speaking of Facebook, but it's weird because it's like, this is somebody I didn't know, never met, appreciated his music, but since I'm a non-musician and just a fan, I really don't, fully appreciate what he's able to do. I can appreciate the way he plays the guitar, his talent in the guitar, in his writing, and so on and so forth, but not in the way, say, a musician would come out of it. And the other thing being that, yet his music, his work, and what he spent, 30-odd years doing of his life completely consumed my life, for almost, the last decade. And it's like, that's pretty scary. To think about it, it's weird because, there probably has not been a day since I started listening to Slayer that I haven't heard the Slayer at least once, during that time period. And it was weird because, like, I don't know him, but you feel like you kind of do, which is kind of weird. So I really didn't know where to come with that. I'll put something to I'll try to do something and everything, but enough of the rambling. I apologize. I've just I've had a lot on my mind, and this is kind of like medicine, so to speak. So I'm just I'm talking with friends, but I came across something, and I'm the type that says, that's really against, getting into, the type, you get into an artist after they die. What the fuck is the point? I mean, really, it's like, yeah, you start buying albums from this person now because they're dead, and because of their death, they're now back, in the news cycle or whatever. Obviously, with this band, that wasn't the case, but I still wasn't the type that would be spending the money on buying stuff after the artist died, because they're really just trying to take advantage of the situation in a lot of ways. And something that did make me sick was seeing a group on the internet. I will not mention the site or the name or anything involved with it. You can probably figure it out, because it's where a lot of you can pretty much figure it out. But they were selling Hanneman Memorial T-shirts, claiming proceeds went to a music school. and I thought it was odd because of the timing, because it happened immediately after his death, and did just a little bit of research, find out it's all bullshit. And because at the time, Slayer didn't even have any memorial stuff other than the message that they posted on their website about it. And so that kind of really ticked me off. But of course, nothing I can really do about it. But I came across this poster. It's not complete, but does have Gary King, Dave, and Jeff. It doesn't have Tom, but it does have 3 of the 4 original members. Because of the situation that now half of the band is not in the band, and it's like, how can you call it? It's kind of like the same thing with, with Black Sabbath in a way, with a singer other than Ozzy. How can you call it the same band? Because it ain't Slayer. With Paul back in the band, it's still not Slayer. Because Slayer is, the 4 original members. And obviously, that lineup is done for. So it isn't the same. Trust me, I know. Just trust me on that. But I came across that, and since and figured that if I could get it for a pretty good price, I would go for it, because I've got autographs and pieces of memorabilia from this band, but because he was the way that he was, he didn't really do a lot of course, he never did a whole lot of interviews, and didn't really sign a whole lot of stuff. So stuff with him, I didn't really have a whole lot of. I had autographed helmet that I found out through their Facebook page, and so I was able to grab this. I've got other pieces from the other band members, concert stuff, autographs and that kind of thing. But this was something that I figured that I would grab if I could, and I was able to. But of course, I'm not the type to get into that whole, because they're dead now, I'm going to appreciate their music. They're the greatest musician ever. That kind of stuff. It was it just, it's like, even though to a certain extent, I've purchased albums because of that situation, which makes me, which is ironic, and to a certain extent makes me a hypocrite, I guess. It just, I guess it's just adding to the collection of different kind of pieces. Now, after 19 minutes of bullshit, Uriah Heep, Equator. This is autographed by McBoxley Kerslake. And got the cert here. Album's in okay shape. There's a lot of folds and creasing in the corners. And take that out so you can see it. And that kind of thing. Working with the light. But really cool pickup, and vinyl's in playable condition. which is awesome. Now, the most recent pickup as far as new albums, of course, I would have to have this in my collection, of course. And I will have an update. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'll just do it all at the same time. Black Sabbath 13 double vinyl. Open but haven't listened to it yet. I've heard one track off of it, God is Dead. Heard that on Ozzy's Boneyard, on the drive up to see a friend, and downloaded the MP3, converted it to a CD, but still haven't quite heard it yet. I'll get into it. I will get into it, but I want to, with me, the way I like to experience vinyl is just sitting back, relaxing, and just taking the music. And I haven't had the ability to just sit down and relax and do that. But I am looking forward to doing that. But in addition to that, tickets, Black Sabbath. And that's awesome. And so I'm going to be seeing them at the end of the month. And the funny thing about that is that same weekend I'm going to a Catholic wedding. Oh shit. Yeah. I know. Yeah. That's all what can you say? Okay, now we'll move on to the last pieces here. Thank you for staying with me. I don't like to do movies this long, updates this long, but yeah, I have a lot that I had to get out, so I apologize for the length of this video. Okay, these are the three pieces that came today, and I guess you can say I've never been so happy to have had to do extra work and have work added to me, and I will explain what I mean. I'm in the process of cataloging my entire collection for insurance purposes, and it's a lot of work, to say the least. Putting in the way I'm doing it and the information that I'm adding, and so this is adding more work to that. But I don't mind it, because you guys know how I feel about records, especially new records. But let's get into it, shall we? After now 25 minutes almost. Yeah, let's take these out because there's no glare. Rush, All the World's a Stage. And a little bit of creasing on the back. But for the most part, looks pretty good. I have not looked at the vinyl yet, because I just got these and then I've been working on this video. But this looks really nice. It just needs a little bit of cleaning to take the dust out of it. Really nice. It looks like at least one person is listening to me when it comes to records, and trying to get more people into the VC. Still working on it slowly, but surely. Okay. This is an add to my Rolling Stones collection. This is only my second piece. I haven't really actively been looking to add to that yet, but not because I don't like the Rolling Stones, because I do. It's just that I don't know. I haven't come across their stuff for some odd reason, and I haven't really actively looked for it. But yeah, this is a cool addition, and I will definitely be working on more. Let's take a look at the wax. Yeah, again, little bit dirty, but still got nice look to it. Other than that, I don't see any scratches or anything like that, so this is nice job. And then finishing up with the last piece in this video. When the other one comes, when the last piece comes, I will be showing that, and it's something unusual that maybe you've seen, maybe not. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen this particular album shown yet. But yeah, when that comes, I will get it out to you, and we'll we'll leave the whole video for just that one album. Okay, but the last piece and the funny piece is Motley Crue, Shut Up the Devil. This is the reissue from whenever they did it on Motley, not Elektra, and when my sister asked me to name some albums, this was the only thing that came to mind for some odd reason. I don't know why, because obviously, you know my feelings on Motley Crue and glam and pop. I'm not going to call it glam metal or pop metal, because it ain't metal. No way about it. And for the most part, I won't speak ill of one's particular music, because it's all just opinion and everything. But and all that, none of it is fact. And probably most all music, there's some level of, I don't know if talent's the right word, but there's a reason why they're in the position that they're in, because there is some talent there, even if you don't necessarily like the music. But I would have some exceptions myself, but I won't get in that discussion. But there you go. So that's all of them. Sorry that this video is so long again, and I will end it here. Thank you all for watching. See you later.